It's a brand new groove.
Welcome, the AI marketing engine, and let you meet the team. So it's very exciting. So here we've got the tier one, and I know it can be quite overwhelming that there's so many GPTs. So I'm just going to give you some tips on how to choose which ones to use first. We've got Sally here, so she does the content planning, so it can be a week. She really likes to do a month, but it can be quite helpful, and she'll give you really good advice on what you then need to do once she's picked what you need to. She's planned out for you, sort of what format and things. Really helpful. Less editing the other end. So some you'll use, like Sally you might use each week or once a month, and Penny you might use once or twice just to check that she's picked up what she suggested in the edits that you've made. So that's sort of quite good just to do a screen grab of your bio and pop it in. Then there's Biddy, so it depends on how often you want to write content. Now with AI search and the SEO and AEO and GEO, the more content that's out there, the more authority that you're building in space. So that's becoming more popular to do. The email, so I've got Ethel here. So depending on how often you're sending that, and she's really good at email nurture sequences, so like doing a series of 5, and there's a psychological structure that goes with that and what each email has. And then we've got Lindy, so the lead magnet copywriter. So she's deeply trained on, once again, psychology and master copywriting and what goes into a good lead magnet. And so depending on how many of those you might do for a download. Then we've got Henry, the hook, line and headline. I mean, he's really good to use whenever you're writing anything really. And then your landing page. So it's always good to sort of throw it through Lucy. And once again, with your brand tone and voice. And then we've got Stella, and that's sort of a double check. I would still use Google Tools for the keyword planner because that's going to be the most up-to-date and it's from Google, but she will help you with your clusters and how to write it and things. And then we've got Kelly and Minnie. If you think of a marketing agency, Minnie is the strategist and then Kelly is planning it out. So we've sort of got these guys at the top, and then they're giving the work. So basically to these guys that are just trained on one function. You can get them to do other functions, but you know, you might as well actually jump into the GPT that's trained on that because they've got more research and studies and things to back up what they're doing. So then we go into the A team. Victor is really important because he's going to help you get your brand tone and voice, and so that can be whether you're an individual or a business. And even if it's a business, you might think some of the questions relate to personal, but they sort of build a comprehensive brand and goes into your ideal client avatar. And so you'll find that you will actually bring into the conversations that you're having in the other GPTs so that it's in your brand voice. And then we've got Clara. So if you think of a marketing agency, this is the big dog at the top. So he will help you with the big picture on what it is that we're trying to achieve. And she works well with Minnie and Kelly that are in tier 1. Then we've got the brand story copywriter. So this is Babs. I had so much fun naming them. This is really good for your about page because it's really easy to follow on the track that it's me, and this is what I do. Whereas we're putting that same information in here, but we're turning it around and putting a bit of a spin on it that this is what we do to help you, So it's a bit more about the client and that we're a guide to help the client. So it's just a different way because they're reading it for what they're going to get out of it. And this is really handy for podcasting, and because people are busy and they just want to hear things while they're doing things, haven't got time to sit down and watch videos. Then we've got Nellie. So Nellie does the newsletters, so she can do ones that email that are with links to things, or the full-on newsletter with content and layout and flow. Then we've got George, so he's the Google My Business listing and can check what you're missing, give you ideas on what to do and what to post, which is really good to sort of have that optimized. Then we've got Fee, so she creates the prompts And the prompts can be used in Fee, or you can put them into like Google Gems or Midjourney, Flux Laura, anywhere you're using AI to create images. And then you can sort of edit, and you can add in your brand colors and your hex codes and things like that, and sort of get quite detailed with it. And then once you get an image that you love, copy that prompt and save it somewhere, because it's really tricky sometimes to get the same thing again, but we try. And then we've got Fred, so he's really about Facebook ads. And then we've got Gertie, that's Google ads. So this is one reason it's tier 2, because the first one is the starter kit and about content and creating content. And this is now scaling and getting you the more leads in and sales and things. So then we've got the content Martha. I love Martha. I love the graphics of Martha. So Martha's about freeing up some time for us and giving us some quick wins in content that we've already created. So this can be a blog or a video, anything like that, and she can go, right, what can we turn this into? Really handy. And then we've got Annie for the analytics. She is going to be analysing all the boring bits. Sometimes the data can be quite confusing and we might be able to understand it but not actually know how to fix it. You can actually then, if you're in Google Ads, you could do a screen grab and throw it into Annie and she could analyse it for you. And same with Facebook, if you they'll give you some ideas on what to tweak. So she's highly trained with everything like that. So I hope you have fun with them and that they behave. I'm like sending my baby bots out into the world. Love any feedback. Again, thank you.
AI marketing edge is a brand new groove. AI power cutting through the noise. Within the lane, it's a smarter choice. Simple, sharp, the future is clear. AI marketing edge, your future is here.